Hello everyone, welcome to English and More. I am your English teacher Shweta Roy. And today we are going to start off with a very interesting and a beautiful poem, as the name in the title suggests, right? A thing of beauty. So it is beautiful by its name itself. Now before I start off with today's session, I would like to remind you to please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also share this video amongst your friends, and I am a little disappointed by your lack of communication in the comment section. So I would again request you to please extend your support to the channel by giving your comments, giving your feedback, or if you have understood the poem, what is it which touched you the most? What is it which you would like to see in the upcoming videos? So please go ahead and do mention in the comment section, right? So now we would start off with today's poem, A Thing of Beauty by our own John Keats. So of course this poem, by the name itself, by the title itself, suggests beautiful things. So before starting, I would like you to ask, what according to you is beautiful? When do you call something beautiful? So do mention in the comment section your own idea about a thing of beauty. What according to you would be a thing of beauty? And I want more response from you all this time, please. Right? Okay, so that's your food for thought, right? Okay, so before I move ahead with the poem, I would like to also give you a lovely quote by the same poet, John Keats. Now, Keats says, "Beauty is truth, truth beauty, that is all ye know on earth and all ye need to know." So I would begin Keats's poem rather, by this beautiful quote again related to beauty. Why I am giving you this quote? You could use this quote in your answers wherever you feel appropriate, right? So that would enhance the answer that you write. It would add on to your answer. Now this quote is by John Keats. He had written this in his poem on a Grecian urn, which is a further read for all of you. So if you find the time, well, you should find the time to read his lovely poem, Ode on a Grecian Urn. It's a very thought-provoking and a beautiful poem by Keats. So please go ahead and let me know in the comment section, how did you find this poem on Ode on a Grecian Urn, right? So he says, beauty is truth, truth beauty. Okay, so he was definitely inspired by beauty, and he finds beautiful things as the only truth. Now in this poem we will see what according to him are beautiful things, and what does he makes a lot of comparisons in this poem. So let us find out, let us delve deeper into the poem. Now about Keats, John Keats, we all already know that he was a British romantic poet. Okay, so his timeline is from 1795 to 1821, which is the romantic age in English literature. Now romantic age, you all know Keats, Shelley, Byron, all these are Wordsworth, of course, not to forget, right? All these were the pillars of romanticism, right? So the romantic poetry, of course, was a revolution. It meant return to nature, away from the classical poetry which was meant for the elites in the previous neoclassical age, right? So this was a movement away from that, deeper into nature, away from the artificiality, right? So from this, of course, we can understand that the romantics were definitely nature poets. Apart from nature poets, of course, there were a lot of other things as well. So Keats was also, he admired nature, right? So now First, we will read through the entire poem, okay, and then I will be explaining you stanza wise. Now, this particular poem is an excerpt from Keats's Endymion, a poetic romance. Now, this poem is based on Endymion. Now, Endymion is a Greek legend. I would be talking about that legend in the due course, right? So, first of all, as I asked you by now, I hope you have given your answers in the comment about your idea of beautiful thing. Now, your next question is, do you think that beautiful things give us pleasure? And are beautiful things worth treasuring? What are your opinions on these questions? Please let me know in the comment section. Right? Now, let me read out the poem to all of you. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bar quiet for us and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence of the inhuman dearth of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways made for our searching, yes, in spite of all. Some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits, such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon, for simple sheep and such are daffodils with the green world they live in, and clear reels that for themselves a cooling covert make against the hot season. The mid-forest brake, rich with the sparkling of fair musk rose blooms, and such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead. All lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink, pouring unto us from the heavens brink. Right? So this was the whole poem. Now we would go ahead with the explanation. Before the explanation, of course, the introduction to our own Keats, who belonged to the Romantic period, the theme of which, as I already mentioned, was return to nature. Right? So the Romantics, they believed that the materialistic world, which was emerging fast due to the Industrial Revolution, that had given birth to greed, corruption, lust, and craze for material things. The Romantic poets thus escaped into the rustic life. This is important to get close to nature. So they believed in close proximity with nature, in the lap of Mother Nature, which according to them is the ultimate source of peace, happiness, and joy. So nature gives them joy, and that is what Keats would also suggest in this poem. So this poem, as I mentioned, is taken from Endymion 1818, his first narrative poem. Okay? A thing of beauty is a joy forever. It's actually the beginning of the poem Endymion, a poetic romance, which is a poem of 4,000 words, a long narrative poem. Okay? Now this poem reflects his eternal love for beauty. Okay, as he says in his ode on Grecian urn, which I already mentioned, beauty, truth, truth, beauty. So whatever is beautiful is true, whatever is true is beautiful, right? Now Endymion is based on a Greek legend in which Endymion, he's a poet and a shepherd who lived on Mount Latmos. Now he had a vision of Cynthia. Cynthia is the moon goddess, and he pursues her in search of beauty, which is again the perpetual search for all mankind, right? So that is actually the Greek myth, Greek legend, right? So first stanza of the poem. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but still will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of dreams and health and quiet breathing. So here he says that a thing of beauty is eternal. It gives us eternal joy. Joy forever is eternal joy. Okay? And it will never pass into nothingness. That means it will never die, it will never perish. Rather, its beauty, its loveliness would keep on increasing. That is the first line. Next, he then goes on to compare beauty with a series of things. And the poet describes, according to him, how important beauty is. Okay, so first he compares beauty with a bower. Bower is a peaceful shade of plants. So when you are like imagine you are walking on a scorching on a sunny weather, scorching heat, and you get a shade, cool shade of a plant, of a tree, right? Peaceful shade of a tree. So how beautiful that shade would be at that point of time for you. So he is comparing that beautiful peaceful shade of plants with beauty. So beauty is nothing but a peaceful shade of plant. Then he is comparing with a sleep full of sweet dreams, health and quiet breathing, right? So when you, of course, we all love to sleep. If we have a good peaceful sleep, nothing more joyful than that, right? So after a tiring day, when you have a beautiful, peaceful, calm sleep, healthy and quiet breathing, that peace, that beauty of the peace is eternal, everlasting, right? So he's comparing beauty, a thing of beauty, with all these. First, a bower, a shade, quiet, peaceful shade. Next, sleep, which is full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. So he actually means to say that he wants to prove that it has a significant role in the life of human beings. Okay, now coming to the literary devices in the first stanza. Of course, alliteration is there, use of S sound in sleep, sweet. Okay. Then we have metaphor, bower, quiet. So calmness of the bower is compared to the calming effect of a beautiful thing. So just as a beautiful thing has a calming effect on you, the calming effect is compared to the calming effect that you receive under a shady tree, right? So there is a comparison without the use of as or like. That's metaphor. And here I would like to suggest you to please go ahead and watch the YouTube short which I had done on the difference between a metaphor and a simile. That's a must watch for all of you. Alright, so in case you have missed it, please go ahead and watch that. Okay, therefore on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and o'erdarkened ways, made for our searching, yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits. Now in the next stanza, the poet says that as the thing of beauty is fundamentally important to us every morning, we collect the flower-like charm of beautiful things that make a band of it that gives us joy. Okay, so every morning what do? We collect the flower-like charm of beautiful things. Are we wreathing a flowery band? Okay, so we are basically, what we are doing is we are collecting beautiful things and we are binding ourselves, making a band, and we are and those beautiful things are connecting us to the earth. Okay, so every morning we collect the flower-like charm of beautiful things. There is a comparison here again, and make a band of it. So we are making a band. But when we are collecting, we are weaving a band basically of those beautiful things. Just as we weave garland out of flowers, we collect flowers and weave garlands. Similarly, the poet is saying that we collect beautiful things and we weave a band, and then it binds us to the earth. Then he says, spite of despondence, in spite of the gloomy things in our life, unhappy moments in our life, okay, unhealthy ways, griefs, failures, in spite of all of that, these beautiful things, they actually have beautiful effect, beautiful impact in our lives. Okay, they remove all these darkness from our life. So in spite of these gloomy things, a beautiful thing it has the ability, the potential to remove all these troubles and give us joy and peace. Okay, morrow is the following day. Wreathing is decorating, just as we decorate garlands with flowers, same way. Okay, despondence means depressed, gloomy is sad. Now here we have anaphora. Now what is anaphora? When you use the same word in consecutive lines. Okay, use of the same word in 2 consecutive lines. Of noble nature, of all the unhealthy. So of, okay, of is repeated in both the lines. So that is an example of anaphora. Then we have a lot of alliterations here. Band, bind, B sound repeated. Noble nature, N sound repeated. Some shape, S sound repeated. Then metaphor, I already explained. Wreathing a flowery band. The beautiful things of our life bind us to the earth. Okay, so beautiful collection of beautiful things, and decorating it is compared with flowery band. Okay, so yeah, collection of flower and making a band, that's the comparison without using as and like. Imagery, that beautiful things, the sensory effect of beautiful things lined up in a string. Okay, so that actually evokes a visual image in our mind, right? And then we have inversion. What is inversion? Reversal of word order, normal order of word. Are we reading a flowery band? It's not a question actually, otherwise there would be a question mark, but there is a reversal in the word order. Instead of we are reading, it's are we reading. So that's inversion. Next, such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon for simple sheep, and such are daffodils with the green world they live in, and clear rills for themselves a cooling covert make against the hot season, the mid-forest break. So here the poet gives examples of things of beauty that give us joy and happiness. What are those things? The sun, the moon, the trees, young and old. Okay, because they give us shade, peaceful shade to our spirit. Innocent sheep, that is actually our spirit. Okay, so they give us shade. Daffodils, that beautiful flowers. There's a poem by William Wordsworth called Daffodils. In case you don't know what daffodils are, you can read the poem. It's a very beautiful poem. Okay, and yeah, pure and cool streams. So there are summers in which we have fair musk rose also, which blooms, which we will see in the next stanza. Okay. So boon is blessing. Beautiful things are like blessing to us. Rills is a small stream. Now here we have alliterations, sprouting and shady, S sound repeated, cooling covered, C sound repeated, imagery, trees giving shade, that actually has a visual image in our mind. Sprouting shady boon. Okay, so sprouting shady boon, it's a boon for us, that shady leaves, trees giving shade. So yeah, daffodils with the green world they live in, so the growing of daffodils providing greenery. Clean river streams, that is talking about the clear rills, all those evoke images in our mind. Then we have antithesis. Antithesis is opposite words, opposite ideas. Okay, so old and young. See here, they are the opposite words are not juxtaposed together. There is an and in between, so it's not an oxymoron, it's an antithesis. Opposite ideas, okay, old and young, right? Because we have and, it's not two words juxtaposed together, two opposite words. So oxymoron is when two words are juxtaposed and it's taken as one word, right? So here it is not that, it's basically two ideas. Okay, last stanza. Rich with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms, as I told you, during summer, the beautiful musk rose, blooming of beautiful musk rose, and such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead, all lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink, pouring unto us from the heavens brink. So finally the poet is talking about the beauty of, or the grandeur of, the mighty dead, which means the martyrs who had sacrificed their lives for something good, for a good cause. The tales which we hear about them, they are also beautiful. Okay, so they are referred to as beautiful. So thus nature is the endless fountain of immortal drink, which it pours from the heaven's edge. So that means again he's praising nature. So nature is like what? It is like endless fountain of immortal drink pouring from the heaven. Okay, so immortal, that means it will never perish, it will continue, it is everlasting, and it is endless fountain. That fountain is endless, that fountain is the fountain of immortality, because beauty is everlasting, it gives us everlasting joy, it never perishes into nothingness, its loveliness keeps on increasing, that's what he says, right? So nature gives us immortal joy that comes from heaven, that is what he means to say. Now this is an oft quoted line, so we have to understand it very carefully. It is compared to an endless fountain of immortal drink, so again a metaphor, which we are getting from heaven. Okay, so it is the ultimate source of happiness. Right, so here we have alliteration again, H in having heard. Metaphor I already explained. So beautiful objects of nature are forever, like a never-ending portion of a drink. Okay, then we have rhyme scheme, forever, never. So you can, find out the rhyme scheme here. Yeah, it's AABB. Okay, that's the rhyme scheme, right? And then we have imagery, bushes full of musk roses, that is a visual imagery, right? So sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms, the blooming of musk rose. Then grandeur, describe of valor, that is describing the valor of fighters. God providing us with the best things, that means it's like pouring from the heavens brink, that is God is providing us, nature God of course is providing us with so many beautiful things. So that is again an imagery. So that was the beautiful poem, highlighting on the key points of the poem. The theme is of course the non-destruction of beauty. So the poem definitely signifies a romantic finale of Keats's firm belief in the non-destruction of beauty, right? So that is very, very important. So beautiful things are permanent, they cannot be destroyed, their loveliness increases, right? So unlike the commonplace objects of everyday certainty, the objects of beauty are resistant to the perishability of time and indeed of immortality, mortality. That means whatever objects are beautiful, they cannot be perished. They are resistant to the perishability of time. They cannot be destroyed by time. So they are not mortal, they are immortal. Right? So the sun, the moon, the flora, the fauna in nature, they are the protectors of an infinity that can never be equated with the temporariness and incontinence of human schemes. So which means basically these natural elements, they are eternal, they are permanent, which cannot be equated with the ephemeral nature, the temporary nature of the human world. Right? And they give us immense pleasure. They are the things of beauty. So with that, I hope you have understood this poem. Before you go, make sure you have liked the video and shared it amongst your friends. Also do let me know in the comment section how far you have understood the poem. Right? So let me know what would you like to have in the next video, which topic would you like me to discuss, which chapter would you like me to discuss in the next video. So based on your comments, I would be taking up that particular lesson from grade 12 CBSE for now, right? So till then, thank you, bye bye, enjoy.